gave the istahfadhu, that.
Does it say Jews explicitly, or let's just say something else?
The rabbis and scholars.
Yeah, ahbar bima ahbar means rabbis, right?
You're going to make an argument. Make sure you say it precisely.
Okay.
It says Rabbinun.
Yeah, Rabinun wal ahbar.
But you said Jew.
Well, usually rabbis are Jews, and
that's
being a snitch.
I don't mean, yeah, usually they are. And since it's talking about what inna anzalna al-Tawrat, anzalna Tawrat means we sent down the Torah, which was usually has to do with the Jews, right? Fiha huda nur wa yahkum biha. So that, but what's interesting to me is that Allah let the Jews keep the Torah. Whereas, in the Quran, it says in chapter 15:9 that Allah is supposed to be the one who keeps the dhikr. Inna nazalna dhikr wa nahnu lahu lihafidun. So Allah says in one case that he's the one who preserves it. But here it says that the Jews are the ones who preserved it.
It doesn't say the Jews. Why do you keep repeating
Why? Who are the rabbis?
Just say who they are. So say exactly what it is.
Okay, who is the rabbis? Are they Jews or no?
Bro, anybody could be a rabbi.
Oh, okay. So there's Jewish rabbis, huh? Well, ahbar.
Anyone could be a rabbi.
Huh? Anybody can. Are there Muslim rabbis?
They can be a rabbi if they want to.
Yeah, Muslim rabbi. So Allah here is talking to Muslim rabbis.
What does the word
Rabbi, comes from the Hebrew word. Like most of the Quran comes from the Bible. Comes from the word means teacher. Jesus was called rabbi too, Rabboni.
Is it talking about someone who descended from the line of Aaron, the high priest lineage, or just some random guy?
It doesn't say nothing here about Leviticus.
It's just a regular guy, man.
It doesn't talk about rabbis, or it doesn't talk about It doesn't talk about Levitical, but it does.
Isn't there another word for teacher?
There is
Rabbi?
Another verse that talks about it. Yes, in the Quran, it's chapter 9:31, where it says, "Ittakhadhu ahbarahum wa ruhbanahum arbaban min dun Allah wal Masih." Why won't you let me talk, man? Why are you so afraid?
You're distorting it.
You're not making sense.
Why? But why don't you let me talk? Why do you talk over me all the time?
Because you're not saying anything.
Well, okay, but if you ask me something, why don't I get to answer it? Of course, I don't believe in it. I used to be a Muslim, and I discovered the truth, and I don't want.
We don't care.
Okay, I know, but I know you don't. But you know
I'm
what?
Ex-Christian. I don't go around telling people and preaching it like I'm ex-Christian.
Well, according to
Well,
he was never a Muslim.
Yeah. Well, you tell that to my dad, and all the people who disown me, and but
we don't care about your drama stories, man.
Okay, all right, but here I'm just saying that here it's saying that the Jews were entrusted. I mean, why did Allah entrust the Jews? Didn't Allah know that they weren't going to be trustworthy? You see, you're becoming.
He needs a therapy.
Why are you guys so? Why are you guys so rude? I'm asking you. I'm asking you a question here. It says that Allah entrusted the Jews. Allah entrusted the Jews. Why did he trust them if they are not trustworthy? It says, istahfadu bima al-rabin. Let me see how Rab.
He can't even say that.
Okay.
He's never been a Muslim.
Rabniun. Okay. Will ahbar. Now I know ahbar I know it from another verse. Okay, there's another verse in the Quran that uses the word ahbar. It says, "Ittakhadhu ahbarahum wa ruhbanahum arbaban min dun Allah wal Masih," where it says that they took their monks and rabbis as lords in place of Allah and Jesus Christ. Chapter 9:31 in the Quran, where it equates Jesus Christ with Allah. And you see, and it uses that word ahbar.
We wasn't even talking about that.
But the word ahbar, but you see the word ahbar is in this verse, and that was kind of what I was asking about. Ahbar.
Wait, but ahbar means what?
Ahbar is like, it comes from the word hibr.
Respected, right?
Ahbar comes from the word hibr. Hibr means ink, like scholar, hibr. Ahbar is like the scholars, they're monks and rabbis. You know, that's how they translate it in English.
Respected ones.
Scholars. Ahbar has to do with scholars. You know, they write stuff. That's why they use hibr. They use ink. So, and this verse, but that what's interesting here is that Allah trusted the Jews to keep the Torah. So he himself did not keep it. He trusted the Jews. But doesn't Allah know that they weren't going to be faithful and they were going to change it?
Did you just say that God trusted the Jews?
Well, it says so right here. It says,
Wait,
Hadu
does it literally state that
bima
God
istahfadhu.
Jews?
Bima istahfadhu.
It says he entrusted.
He entrusted,
rabbis and
yeah,
the
what is
scholars
entrusted?
with-
Yeah, they were keepers of the Torah. They
Right. And Allah trusted them, but they weren't trustworthy. I mean, doesn't Allah know who's trust? Of course, you know.
Man, we're gonna charge you $300 an hour for this.
Yeah.
It's a therapy
The
rate.
table, what are we doing here with this? It's like.
It's crazy, man.
It's a Christian ex-Muslim therapy session.
No, I know.
No, it's just that, you know, I'm just kind of saying you guys were talking about this verse here about the Jews and you know, and it talks about about Muhammad coming to the Jews. I mean, the Jews
You
coming to
start telling us
Muhammad.
Your mom and your dad and everything going on with your lifestyle.
Well, you want to turn it into a cheap little therapy session just because you guys, you know, don't want to answer with what I'm trying to ask, you know, or don't have an answer for what I'm trying to ask. You know, you're saying that Muhammad, the Jews came to Muhammad, you know, to help to understand their book, you know, but Muhammad was commanded to go to them, not the other way around. The Quran says several times that if Muhammad had any questions, because he doubted that he was a prophet, then he was supposed to go ask the Jews, not the other way
Wait,
around.
You're Christian, or saying?
Yes,
You believe Jesus is God?
of course. So does the Quran. The Quran says so
He
too.
worships a man with a penis.
So let me ask you this, Hussein.
Well, Allah doesn't have a penis because he doesn't have a girlfriend, according to the Quran.
Yeah,
But
it's not circumcised either.
yeah, and Muhammad wasn't circumcised either. Yes, of course.
Hussein, if you
But
if you
according to the
believe
Quran, Allah circumcised Jesus, right? That says taharnak. You know, we
Someone did it with their mouth.
according to the Quran. But the Quran is so crazy. But go ahead. Yeah.
Hussein, quick question. So if you say that Jesus is God,
Mhm.
so Jesus created God, God did not create Jesus?
Well, according to the Quran,
No.
Quran.
Did
Stop
God?
running to the
Well, do you
Quran.
want do you want the Quran or God is not?
I don't.
God is
Quran, I don't want no.
okay.
Bible.
Are you gonna let me answer? Or are you gonna keep talking over me?
It's a child.
Are you gonna let me answer? Or are you gonna keep talking over me?
Is it like a?
Are you gonna let me answer? Or are you just gonna talk to yourself?
Oh, you're also like.
Oh, it's a child. Like, I don't know.
Are you gonna let me answer? Or are you gonna keep talking up to yourself?
Did you answer the question?
Okay, let me answer. Let me answer.
So
Okay.
run to the Quran, Jahil.
Okay. You بتحكي عربي أنت؟
No.
بتحكي عربي؟
لا.
Then why ليش بتستعملي كلام عربي؟
You're
جاه. بتحكي عربي ولا لا؟
do not
بتحكي عربي ولا لا؟ ولا بس you're here to show off that you're something that you're not? Okay, it just like she's using these Arabic words as insults, and you know, does she speak Arabic or she just knows how to?
You start talking Arabic. Nobody was speaking Arabic. I just answered.
She
my
calls me
question.
jahil. What do you call jahil? Do you know what jahil means?
Are you vaccinated, man? This is a side effect. What's wrong with you?
She called me jahil, which is an Arabic word, trying to show
Why
off
don't
that she
you
knows
focus-
Arabic.
why
So
don't you focus
anyway.
on me for a second. Did God create Jesus or did Jesus create God? Simple question.
God is uncreated.
Really?
Yeah, just like the Quran says, Allah's
But
not
that's
created,
not my
right?
answer to my question. Did God
Just like you say,
create
the
Jesus?
Quran is uncreated, right? The Quran is uncreated. The word of Allah is uncreated. Jesus is the word of Allah.
I don't know what you're really talking
The word of Allah is uncreated, according
My
to
man,
his.
my
right?
man,
Jesus is the word of Allah, according to the Quran, right?
my man,
Huwa
listen.
kalimat Allah wa ruh minhu. He's the word of Allah. So he's
Oh, my
uncreated,
goodness.
right?
Are you all like
You ask a question, but you're afraid of the answer. You ask a question, and then you're afraid of the answer. Okay, they kicked me out. These guys sounded a little bit more intelligent, but apparently not. So anyway, you guys. So God bless you guys. So hey, Blackwater, miss you, man. Haven't seen you in a couple days. Yeah. They kicked me out because they couldn't answer. I thought I was doing pretty good, man. But anyway, all right, you guys. God bless you. I have to go do some stuff. So